Hey everyone, welcome! Today we're going on a very interesting journey, the complete history of computers. Not just dates and names, but the real story of how computers started as giant machines and became the smart devices we use today. The beginning. When computers were giants. Let's imagine for a moment, you walk into a room and instead of furniture, the whole room is filled with one giant computer. This actually happened. In 1945, the world saw one of its first electronic computers. It was huge and around 30 tons. It used thousands of glowing tubes. It made a lot of heat. And it needed the space of an entire room just to run. And what could it do? Only basic math. But at that time, it felt like magic. Computers didn't start as small devices. They started as machines the size of a room. Why did people build these huge computers? You might wonder, why did they need a computer that big? The answer is simple: war. During World War II, countries needed very fast calculations. Things like missile angles, weather predictions, and code breaking. Humans were slow, machines were faster, so these giant computers were built to help during the war. They were not designed for homes or offices at all. First generation vacuum tubes. The earliest computers used vacuum tubes. Think of them as big glass bulbs that acted like switches. The problem was, they got extremely hot, they used a lot of electricity, and they broke very often. Still, these machines showed the world that electronic computing was possible. Second generation, transistors change everything. Next came the transistor, and this was a complete game changer. Transistors were small, fast, cheaper, and produced less heat. This meant computers didn't need a whole room anymore. Businesses and universities started using them. For the first time, people believed that one day computers might become personal. Machines like the IBM 1401 were very popular in this era. Third generation, integrated circuits. Then came integrated circuits, also called chips. Imagine thousands of tiny transistors placed on a single small board. That's what an integrated circuit is. Because of these chips, computers became smaller, faster, more reliable. This was the time when computers slowly started entering offices, hospitals, and companies. Fourth generation, microprocessors and the personal computer explosion. Now comes the most important moment in computer history: the invention of the microprocessor. The microprocessor is basically the brain of the computer on a tiny chip. Intel released the first popular microprocessors like the 4004 and 8086. And suddenly, computers became small enough to fit on a desk. This is when personal computers, or PCs, became possible. Companies like Apple and Microsoft grew during this time. Computers entered homes, schools, and shops. This is the generation we still use today. The rise of home computers. 1980s to 2000s.
In the 1980s, machines like Apple II, IBM PC, Command 64 became very popular.
Then in the 1990s, the world changed again with Windows 95, Pentium processors. The internet, email, multimedia computers went from being special machines to everyday tools. By the 2000s, laptops, Wi-Fi, USB, gaming, and online services became normal parts of life. The fifth generation, artificial intelligence. Today's generation is called the AI generation. Computers don't just follow instructions now. They actually learn from data. You see AI in voice assistants, smart home devices, face recognition, self-driving cars, AI chatbots, robots.
This generation uses technologies like machine learning, deep learning, and cloud computing.
Computers are no longer just fast. They are becoming smart. The future, quantum computers. And now we are moving toward the next big thing, quantum computers. These computers use tiny particles called qubits, which can be 0 and 1 at the same time. This helps them solve problems that normal computers cannot. They may change. Medicine science, climate research, artificial intelligence, quantum computers could be the next big revolution. Final thoughts, from giant machines to AI.
So today, we traveled through 80 years of computer history.
We started with room-sized machines, then moved to transistors, then chips, then personal computers, and now artificial intelligence. Computers went from giant monsters to tiny chips in your pocket, and this journey is still continuing. Thank you so much for staying with me on this amazing trip through time. If you like this style and want more videos like this, just let me know.